So, guys, I want to talk to you about the time I met Harvey Weinstein. I have a friend that's in film and television, and he's really a behind the scenes type of guy. He deals with like camera work and kind of the technical side of movies and television shows and things like that. And he gets invited to a lot of events and parties and all sorts of stuff. And I used to go with him. And one night we went to this event. It was a private event, and it was for a movie where they were doing a screening before the movie came out. And it wasn't like a premiere. What this was is they were showing the movie to the people that were in the movie and the people that worked on the movie. And it was maybe about 100 people, and it was really just like the actors, the directors, the producers, and the people that worked on the movie. And it was a Miramax film, and Harvey Weinstein was there. And what you would do, you would watch the movie. We watched this movie. Then after the movie was over, kind of gave like a speech, and he talked for a little bit. And then after that, you were kind of mingling in the crowd. And if I'm correct, this wasn't even in a theater. This was in a hotel in Manhattan, right in Midtown. So this was in one of the hotels, like in a ballroom where we were sitting, because we weren't sitting in movie seats. I was sitting like in like almost like a chair that you would sit at, like at a banquet hall. And you watch the movie, and then he gave this, talk, and, it was kind of a back and forth of people talking. And so after that, then everybody's walking through the crowd, and people just hanging out, and it was cool. So now, in the early 2000s, I'm kind of like in my early 20s, and I was dressed normal, but I was wearing a porn star hat. I had this hat that just said porn, and then like a star was next to it. And that's what I was wearing today. Eventually, Harvey Weinstein, I don't know, he's walking through the crowd, and we're just hanging there, and he I don't know, he comes by me and my friend, and we started to talk, and you would have thought that I was like a blonde girl with like big tits. Like, you would have thought what it was. He couldn't take his eyes off of this porn star hat. As he was kind of like shaking my friend's hand, he was like staring at my hat. We were standing by side by side. And then like he was looking at me, and, we were just conversing. But as he was conversing with me, he just had his eyes on my hat. The way like a guy would have his eyes on like a girl with like big tits, he was just focusing on his hat. I was almost at the point where I was going to like take off my hat. Like I was going to give it to him, because, he was my friend was kind of like tapping me, and, he was tapping me. Afterwards, he was like, yeah, he wouldn't take his eyes off your hat. And he was like in love with this hat. Like he was just like looking at it. He was looking to the side of it. But, he was talking. He was just solely focused on this hat. And it was like he was proud of it. I can't explain it. And, we talked, and we were doing like a walk and talk. He was just mesmerized by this porn star hat, and I'm thinking like I should just give him this hat. Now that I think about it, he probably, that hat might have set him off. I don't know. And then that was it. And then in this room we were in, there was actually an escalator. This is what I do remember real clearly. So what you could take an elevator up into this hall, into this banquet hall, but there was also like an escalator that kind of went into this room, and it went down into another room it wasn't like you went into like a lobby and then up the escalator into this floor. We were up, so the escalator was only took you from like one private floor to the next, and there was also an elevator in that room. But all I remember is that we were talking, and he was getting on this escalator. He's like staring at my hat going down the escalator. And that was it. So, and then after the thing was, he was gone, my friend turned around to me. He's like, this guy was, he was staring at your fucking hat. He was like mesmerized by that hat. And I said, yeah, I know. And, that was it. Have a great weekend. It's a holiday weekend, I think, right? This weekend. And that's all. All right. Bye-bye.